Next game I want to look at is Homestead at Concordia. Now, Homestead, a lot of people said, oh my gosh, first time in 17 tries, Northrop beats Homestead. What a huge upset. Homestead was playing without some of their players, pretty much their whole linebacking core. But what Concordia did on Friday at Southside, holding the Archers to, I think, minus 15 yards total for the whole game. Wow, Casey, that was impressive.
Yeah, actually, I think it was minus 35, minus 15 passing and minus 20 rushing. Those are the kind of numbers you expect to see like in a monsoon, right? Like, 6 inches of rain or a bitter cold or something, not on opening night. And I was shocked to see that. We knew this was going to be a good defense. I'm telling you right now, this is the best defense Tim Manigal's had out of Concordia. Not real deep, but my goodness, top to bottom, all 11 guys fly to the ball. Really, really solid in all three levels defensively. Amir Drew, 170 yards rushing. He had a nice performance. Brandon Davis did his thing, one of the top QBs in the area. No interceptions, very clean in that regard. And Cam Johnson, the senior return man, had I think an 84, 85-yard punt return for the Cadets, and they did whatever they wanted to do. It wasn't a perfect performance by any means, but wow, that defense looked spectacular.
When you're talking about the Concordia defense, I'd like everybody to take a look here at the sophomore linebacker, James Rusher. Keep an eye out on James Rusher, only a sophomore, tied the team for a high 6 tackles. He had 3 tackles for a loss. And somewhere in here, you're also going to see there's a sack for minus 8 yards and an interception. That's a great first game for the sophomore James Rusher.
Yeah, not bad for little brother. Isaiah Rusher, his big brother, has been a 2-year starter and has done some nice things too on that defense. Again, we're going to see this, I think, week in and week out for Concordia, where there will be new names and different guys that step up, that lead the tackling chart, that come up with those big interceptions, those big sacks, those big TFLs. This is how this defense is. We were out there the other day, and if you got a shot of our cover, you're welcome to put that up, Jeff. We saw this senior class. They are very, very confident. They look the part of a team that can compete for an SAC title. I know that's saying a lot here in just week 2, especially with the likes of Dwinger, Dwinger, Carroll, Bishop Dwinger. But Homestead should be on upset alert again tonight. Yes, they were missing a lot of people last week against Northrop, but what Concordia has coming back, especially this senior class, is really, really special. And I know everybody's probably already penciled in Chittard as a 3A state champion, and that may prove itself out. But I would love to see these Cadets get a shot against Chittard in the state finals come November.
And that's 9 seniors that we see there leading tacklers. So obviously speaks well. I know Coach Manigal loves his defense and really likes the speed that they bring to the field. Now over there at Homestead, oh my goodness. Remember Braden Hardwick last year was the SAC's leading rusher before he went out with a knee injury. I believe that was in the Carroll game. Hardwick rushed the ball 19 times for 216 yards with 2 touchdowns. What a great performance. It looks like he's good to go from that knee injury.
Yeah, he sure looked healthy, didn't he? He, like you said, Jeff, had a fantastic year ago, get cut short a little over halfway through the regular season. That really changed, I thought, what Homestead wanted to do offensively a year ago and put that much more pressure on Luke Goody at quarterback. But Braden Hardwick is back. He's running with confidence. That seasoned offensive line, they have 3 all-conference type performance that are back as seniors. And those guys are paving the way for Braden Hardwick. And again, if he's able to run with much success tonight, that will really help Evan Ormsby, the first-year varsity starting quarterback, settle in, do his thing, allow him to play action and get that offense going a little bit. Because if they become one-dimensional, in other words, if Concordia is able to take Hardwick out of this game early on, I think the Spartans are ripe for another upset.
Well, one thing that's definitely going to help the senior quarterback is when he gets Ethan Chambers, the wide receiver, back on the field. We talked about a lot of the linebackers and the defenders, one of those being Ryan Burton, who's a 2-year starter, I believe, as a sophomore and a junior for the Spartans. But once they get those guys back, I think Ethan Chambers is a guy that's really slipped under the radar because of all the offensive power or weapons they had in the skill position last year. Chambers didn't get a whole lot of touches, but I got a chance to see him this past summer, and he was the MVP of the Traction AP exposure camp that I went to, and he's going to be going to Indiana State with Jared Kistler to play football.
Yeah, amazing story. Another kid under the radar that folks will find out about soon enough. Jared Kistler gets all the headlines because of what he's done in the past. 677 receiving yards a year ago. He's just that big target and the big name on that receiving core. But and they've got a couple other guys, including Sparrow and Anderson there that both had 2 catches a week ago against the Bruins. As Evan Armsby gets more comfortable in that offense, I think Homestead will be just fine. But they're going to have to pass the ball, especially, I think, on early downs tonight to be successful.
Well, with that, we are ready for high school football here at new and improved Zollner Stadium here on the campus of Concordia High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm Thad Goff along with Pat Donnelly, and I bet that this is something the folks here at Concordia have been looking to because they've played a few soccer games here at Zollner since the new field turf got added in, but now for the first time, they get to play football on this brand new field turf. That's one thing that the Concordia folks are certainly looking forward to.
Yeah, Thad, this is a beautiful facility. Done an unbelievable job. Kudos to the staff here. Coach Mahoney, who's also the athletic director as well. Just a beautiful surface here, and again, with a rainy day, the old Zollner Stadium grass would be a difficult situation tonight, so this is awfully nice.
It probably wouldn't look near as nice as the field does now, but as far as the game is concerned, there are plenty of great athletes set to play on this football field, especially at the running back position. Amir Drew, a guy who rushed for over 100 yards last week, rushed for 200 in the game against Peru last year in the sectional championship. He has been getting it done on the ground for the last 2 years, and you could say the same about Braden Hardwick. He probably would have had 1,000 yards rushing had it not been for that injury that he suffered against Carroll, but he's back, and in the times I've talked with Coach Zolman, he's been very impressed with Hardwick's work ethic to get back onto the field. So we should have we're going to have 2 very solid running games tonight, which could prove to be a big factor.
Absolutely. Both of those guys are established players. They've been around a long time. I go back 2 years ago to seeing Amir Drew as a sophomore run the football and carrying the football 10, 20 times a game, at least as a sophomore. He's done it a long, long time. And Braden Hardwick, just an unbelievable job coming back from that devastating injury. Again, like you said, that unbelievable work ethic and determination to come back. And we're excited to see those 2 tonight.
Now, both teams could very well end up making a lot of hay on the defensive side of the ball. You think about Concordia, they got guys back like Matt Gegline, Sam Hudson. Was a big-time pass rusher for them last year, but he'll be playing in the secondary this year. Speaking of that secondary also includes the likes of Cam Johnson and Cam Vanderbosch, 2 very talented athletes. For Homestead, Luke Palmer is back after not being available last week. You could say the same about Cole Etchison. They're both listed as linebackers. And they are very experienced guys. They can wreak some havoc as far as defense is concerned. Ryan Burton, another great defensive player who's back. So you do wonder how much of an impact the defenses will have as this game goes on.
Sure, and especially Homestead with the guys out last week. I mean, there was no doubt. Obviously, they gave up some rushing yards last week, had some backups in there in those spots, those key guys, especially those seniors in that second level. They're obviously a huge part of the run defense. So I'm sure those Homestead coaches are awfully excited to get those guys back tonight.
Well, both teams have a little quarterback change as far as this year is concerned. Evan Armsby is expected to start for Homestead. Of course, Luke Goody focusing on basketball. Brandon Davis, he would be the starter, but he's not available for tonight, so Eli Maddox gets the start in his place. He's a 6'1 sophomore and stepping into an interesting role going against one of the big-name teams in the SAC.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for a young player. I've heard great things about Maddox. I've heard Coach Manigault talk about him for some time, kind of in the system coming up, and he gets an opportunity tonight. Gets a 6A opponent, a tough defense with a bunch of starters that weren't available last week back tonight. So, yeah, certainly a challenge, but I know this player is prepared for this. He's been in the camp scene and really preparation with the quarterback schooling and things like that. So that's why he's done all that training for opportunities like this. Excited to watch him play tonight.
All right, well, it's time now to get a word in from our sponsors who allow us to come out and do these games. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area from ages 5 to 18. Our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. AndersonCoolHeat.com. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com. Well, a couple other things worth mentioning about this new and improved Zollner Stadium. They do have a brand new scoreboard, a jumbotron, if you will, over on the far left side of the stadium. We're going to get unfortunately not going to get much look at it there, but that is one of the new aspects here of Zollner Stadium is the brand new jumbotron. And Concordia, they got funding from a number of different organizations, including the Lutheran Foundation. I believe the Mary Cross Tipman Foundation was another one, along with various individuals who contributed funds, and no doubt they are thankful for the funds that they have received. But we got the coin toss going on at midfield right now, and we will wait to see who wins the toss. So Homestead will get to call in the air. They, of course, are the visiting teams in the white jerseys and the gold helmets. Concordia, of course, wears the all-black with white helmets.
And the maroon numbers is always fun for the play-by-play guy, right, Tad?
Absolutely, and it looks like Concordia has won the toss, and they have deferred to the second half, so Homestead will get the opening kickoff. And Homestead, of course, they are the defending SAC champions, undefeated in the regular season a year ago. They were looking good enough to win a state championship, but when they got to regionals, Carmel had other ideas.
Carmel, big school, almost 6,000 kids, about double the size of Homestead. That's always the argument, having those super schools in the Indianapolis area that are quite larger even than the large 6As here in Fort Wayne.
So again, we're going to get a look at that Homestead offense, and they've got some quality athletes. Their best receiver a year ago was Jared Kistler. Now, that's saying something only because they had a lot of good receivers Homestead did last year. You think about guys like Griffin Little, Camden Rogers, Jake Archbold, what a year he had. But Kistler had the best year of them all. He's a 6'4" senior, and a guy who can go up and get the ball in tight coverage.
Has all the tools. Indiana State commit just happened recently. He's committed to the Sycamores. Outstanding prospect.
Well, I thought the signal was that Concordia had won the toss and deferred, but it looks like Homestead's going to kick it off to start out. So Concordia will get the opening kick. I believe that's Luke Speckard back to receive for the Cadets. Carter Dixon handling the kickoff duties for the Spartans. Ball is on the tee, and we are underway from Zollner. An angled kick toward the sidelines, and that will go out of bounds.
Nice and easy decision here for Coach Manigault to take the field position here after the penalty.
So that'll come all the way out to about the 35-yard line, where the Cadets will take over for their first offensive possession.
Again, anxious to see what the approach is here with the first-time starting quarterback, a youngster here behind center. Again, I know he's got great tools, but I'm sure Coach Manigault and staff want to ease him into this game somehow.
There were a good amount of games last year where, even with Brandon Davis as talented as he is, the Cadets would lean heavily on Amir Drew in the ground game. The game against Peru in the sectional championship was certainly no exception, and they will give it to him here. Drew bounces to the outside and gets a good gain on first down out to the 44.
Great way to get the young quarterback, comfortable as hand the football to the guy that's been the staple of this offense for 3 years, Amir Drew. Nice inside zone run there, getting north and south and pounding the second level of that Homestead defense.
So this will be 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain. And, a guy like Drew can get into the second level in a hurry. Homestead, they play a 3-3 stack system, 3 linebackers, 3 defensive linemen, and a nickel in the secondary. And it's going to be Drew again, picks his way to get the first down. It looked like Homestead had a chance at him, but Drew, with that change of direction, moves the chains.
Yeah, Drew's that one rare combination of speed and size. He's awfully physical once he gets behind his pads and finishes those runs on those linebackers. Again, identical play there, the first play, inside zone play, getting north and south.
Now, one experienced receiver that Eli Maddox can rely on is Tyler Grossman, was the second leading receiver a year ago. He's really the only returning starter at wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, Jaron Kindig, Jaden Parnan, and Jalen Vanderbosch have all graduated. Here's Drew again, bouncing it to the outside, gets it to midfield. That looks like about it. He was gang tackled by a host of Spartans.
Really good job up front here by Concordia, getting a good push. They've got some size up front, which you don't see that always at the 3A level. Sometimes you struggle finding large humans to play up front, and they certainly have some guys. A little power play there, pulling the backside guard to get an extra blocker at the point of attack. And, of course, Amir Drew does a great job understanding the scheme and following his scheme and getting north and south again.
Maddox operating from the shotgun. That's a consistent theme with Concordia. They tend to put 4 wide receivers on the field. And they set up the screen to the far side, a broken tackle, but then a good second effort as Carter Cronenwet makes the tackle to bring down Tyler Grossman.
Great play by Cronenwet there. Again, you see the great pursuit, speed from the Homestead Spartans. They're getting to the football. Boy, you see those guys really turn on and get to the football there very, very quickly on that play.
Well, the tackle for loss brings the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, the 47-yard line in Cadet territory.
Situation, we'll see Maddox's first throw downfield most likely.
That last pass, of course, did go for a forward pass. Looked like it just went beyond the line. Here's Maddox to the sideline. The pass is incomplete. It goes right through the hands of his intended receiver. Luke Speckard, the intended receiver, and now a punt coming for the Cadets.
Yeah, really good concept there. It was a comeback route, deep comeback route to the field side off the rollout there. Ball was a little bit late there by Maddox, but, again, getting his feet wet here with his first downfield throw. I'm sure he'll be ready for the next opportunity in the second drive.
Ethan Chambers is back to receive the punt. Now, he's listed as a tight end and a slot receiver. He stands about 5'11", 195 pounds. Fairly short, high punt. It will take a short bounce and go out at about the 19, maybe the 20. So that's right about where Homestead will start. Homestead is, of course, coached by Chad Zolman, a very experienced head coach. He enters his 17th year, and just about every year that Zolman has been the head coach, Homestead has put winning teams on the field.
Absolutely. Boy, I can't believe it's 17 years. Yeah, he's been here a long, long time and done a tremendous job each and every year. And the transition from the previous conference to the SAC, and obviously winning the conference last year, has done an unbelievable job.
Was an assistant coach under Drew Wood before taking over as the Spartans head coach. And here's Armsby with a toss to Hardwick on the right side. Breaks the first tackle, but then gets gang tackled at about the 20-yard line. In on that tackle for Concordia was Matt Gegline, among others.
We've heard so much about this Concordia defense, coming into this season. There's a great example there, a little toss play to get the ball on the edge. Again, you see those black shirts get there in a hurry. Again, great pursuit there and speed by the Concordia defense. We have sun, Thad. It's pretty nice.
Absolutely. They're calling it a gain of 1 on the play. They fake the jet sweep, and it's Hardwick trying to surge up the middle. He picks up just about a yard on the play. A host of cadets combined to make the tackle.
Great job again by the linebackers there of Concordia. The jet sweep is intent to draw attention and get the defense to widen out, honoring that jet sweep and giving you some run lanes back inside. Concordia did a great job of filling those lanes quickly and stopping that inside run.
I think that was Grant Hayworth who was in on the tackle for the cadets. He's a sophomore. Ormsby looks to throw. Hit as he throws, and it's intercepted! Intercepted off the carom by the cadets.
Boy, I don't know if that was a wet football, Thad. That was an odd ball coming out of...
I think that was James Rusher who got the pick off the carom.
I don't know if we're going to see that as a replay, Thad. That was kind of an odd one there. If it slipped out or was hit out, I really couldn't see.
Probably did slip out, but
sometimes the one thing
James
about
Rusher comes up with a big pick.
One thing about field turf, it does hold a little bit of moisture after a strong rain. It filters out the downpour, but there's still some residual water on the surface. So maybe a little bit of wet football there in that situation.
So Amir Drew will line up right behind Maddox, and Concordia takes over right at Homestead's 20-yard line. And it is Drew getting the handoff, but Homestead is all over him.
A little edge pressure scheme there by Homestead, kind of creating some momentum back in their favor after that turnover. They got a little aggressive there and brought 3 out of that 3-3 stack defense.
Trey Kreiner was in on that tackle. I believe that number 11 that he's wearing is a number that Nick Martin once wore. Very talented linebacker who graduated from Homestead just last year, was one of the leaders on a very talented Homestead defense. Like he got half a yard on the play where the ball was spotted.
It's a big down here for Concordia. Get themselves in a favorable third down.
Maddox sets up the screen, and that was almost intercepted. Number 31, Luke Palmer, had a beat on it.
It's really the second time on the second bubble screen they've run in the game where someone got turned loose. One of those defenders didn't get blocked. That can be a major problem on the screen game.
Well, so far, 2 of Maddox's passes have been of the screen variety. We'll see if they put it in his hands here or maybe give it to Drew on the 3rd and long. They can get some extra yardage for their kicker, Joe Gutman. At least give him a chance to get on the board. But here's Maddox to throw. He tries to set up the screen. It's bobbled, and it falls incomplete. Oh, that was a dangerous pass.
Got a little tailback screen there that just couldn't find Amir Drew in the massive humanity there in that screen pass, and it got tipped, and that was a close one there for the cadets. Appears they may be going for it here.
Yeah, they're keeping the offense on the field. Now, Joe Gutman is the kicker. He's a senior, and if they were to try a field goal from here, it would be a 36-yarder, but they're obviously foregoing that on 4th and 9.
Wouldn't be surprised to see another sprint out pass here, like we saw on that first third down.
Maddox will fake the handoff, lofts it towards the end zone. There is nobody there, and that's incomplete.
Great pressure there by the Spartan defense. Maybe a protection breakdown there inside. There's a whole lot of penetration there from the interior of that Homestead defense that wreaked havoc and rushed that throw there for Maddox.
So in spite of the turnover, Homestead gets the ball back and is able to avoid giving up points on Concordia's second drive of the game. Evan Armsby will line up from the shotgun. I don't believe Armsby has completed a pass yet in this game. We've got about 6:45 to go. He'll hand it off to Hardwick. And Hardwick again gets run into by this Concordia defense.
Very, very impressive with Concordia's run defense. They are getting people in gaps and getting upfield awfully quickly. That's the first two, the first two 1st and 10 situations we've had. It's a yard gain on both of them. So Concordia does an outstanding job defending the run.
Concordia will be on the road next week when they take on Bishop Luers. Homestead goes on the road to take on Bishop Luers. Concordia, they go on the road to play Snyder. And Snyder right now, they are taking on Carroll. Ormsby to throw off the fake. The pass is incomplete. Threw it right into the breadbasket of Ethan Chambers, but he couldn't make the grab.
It's a little run-pass option play there. Reading the linebacker. The linebacker was actually a blitzer on that play to throw the quick slant in behind him. That was the read for the quarterback, and he got it out quickly. But again, the blitzing linebacker really forced that throw to come out a little bit quicker.
This offseason, Homestead had a quarterback battle between Evan Ormsby, Grady Swing, and Peyton Slavin. Oh, that might be encroachment. That's Gegline who jumped. Was he drawn off? It might not matter because it looked like he made contact with the line, and it's not going to matter.
I think he might have been blitzing Thad. He was kind of overzealous there, excited about getting in that gap and getting upfield. Again, now a much more manageable third down now for the Spartans.
So that makes it 3rd and 3. It's going to be Hardwick getting the handoff, but the Cadets get penetration and get him down.
Once again, outstanding run defense. It's one of those situations. 3rd and 3, you've got really both options in the bag for you. If you want to run the football, you're in favorable down and distance to do that. Obviously, throwing the football in 3rd and 3. Decided to run it, and I tell you what, this Concordia defense is stout against the run. The run plays we've seen, they have been lights out.
Isaiah Rusher, I believe, was one of the guys to get the tackle. And this Concordia defense once again steps up to make a big play. Carter Dixon to punt it away, takes a high snap. He gets away the punt. Returnable for Speckard. He will field it. No fair catch, and the Spartans are all over him.
We admire Speckard's courage there. That was kind of late in the game there to take that ball, but get advanced it a couple of yards there, but they were barreling down on him, certainly.
And check that. That actually, I think, was Cam Johnson, number 8, who primarily plays as a DB, although we may see him a little bit at wide receiver. And now Eli Maddox comes out for the 3rd Concordia offensive series. Well, you can't help but admire the way these defenses have responded. Concordia, they get the turnover, end up in plus territory. Homestead, they rise to the occasion, get the stop. Then the following play on 3rd and 3, Concordia stops Braden Hardwick for a loss. A little toss sweep off the left side, and down goes Johnson. And there is Luke Palmer, the multi-sport athlete, playing at linebacker for the Spartans.
Yeah, what I'm seeing right now from Concordia, anytime they were trying to work the ball on the edge, whether it's a screen, whether it's a jet sweep like the previous play we just saw, Homestead's running it down. They're doing a great job pursuing the football. I think Coach Manigles probably has a script he's looking at and trying to get through a certain number of plays he wants to see, but downhill running game is what has been successful for the Cadets so far, in particular to Amir Drew.
Now they get into a 2nd and long, 2nd and 13 to be exact. Give to Drew a little misdirection play, but again the Spartans get to him. Palmer was involved in that one as well. This time got a little help.
That was a power play that went so well the first drive, picked up about 8 the last time they ran it. there. Great job, great penetration from that 3-3 stack defense, getting in those gaps and wreaking havoc.
I think that was Andrew Baer who also got in on that tackle for the Spartans.
This is a situation you want to try to keep your young quarterback out of. Again, 3rd and extra long here. I'm sure something safe here. We've seen a screen. We've seen a sprint out pass. Something fairly conservative. In this situation, we'll see what Coach Manigault and staff pull out of their hat here on 3rd and extra.
Ball goes through the hands of Maddox. He has to fall on it and goes down way back at the 27-yard line.
One of those things, it looks like Max may just taking his eyes off again. He's probably thinking about his decision, his read. All of those things go through a young quarterback's mind and just slipped right through his hands. And smartly, though, jumped on the football and maintained possession, not giving the ball back to Homestead and the 25-yard line.
Jace Parnan will punt it away for the Cadets. And Ethan Chambers once again back to return it. Low snap to Parnan. Chance at good field position. Chambers will return it. Takes it across midfield, runs into a defender right at the 47-yard line before going out of bounds.
You mentioned those talented receivers for Homestead. Chambers is another one of those guys. He's a multi-talented guy, return game, wide receiver. Also another Indiana State commitment, at the FCS level. So he and Kistler are going there together. Really tremendous athlete.
Well, now Homestead gets the ball in plus territory. Really have struggled to get the offense going so far. Got to a 3rd and 3 after a Concordia encroachment penalty on the last possession, but that Concordia defense rose to the occasion.
I think we're going to see a shot here eventually from Homestead with Coach Skelton taking a play-action pass shot.
It's Hardwick right up the middle, and so far that's his best run of the day. He surges ahead for a 5-yard gain out to the 43.
Seems like those downhill tight zone plays, like right off the center, is really getting to the second level, hitting the second level a little quicker than some of the other run schemes that they're throwing at Concordia, because Concordia's done a great job, especially on 1st down, defending the run. Probably the best run play of the day so far for Homestead.
It can take only a moment for a good team to get things going. And yes, Homestead did have the loss last week, but on a consistent basis, Coach Zolman has been putting good teams on the field. And this time, Hardwick is dropped behind the line. I believe that was Rusher who got the tackle, Isaiah Rusher, and indeed it was, big number 60.
Yeah, just a misread there by the quarterback. That's a zone read play. The defensive end is unblocked. If he is upfield, you give the football. If he bends down the line of scrimmage at your running back, the quarterback should pull and get the ball on the edge. Just a misread there. Again, he won't do it again, I can guarantee. Coach Skelton's going to talk to him after this drive and talk about that zone read concept.
3rd and 7. 3 down for Concordia. Armsby rolls out of the pocket, gets some pressure, throws, and it's almost picked off. Dontrell Johnson had his hands right on it, but he helps Concordia get the stop.
That was great recognition of the route concept by Johnson, really jumping that route. Saw the inside receiver working the square cut, the out route, and he absolutely jumped that from the safety position. So really good recognition and great play on the football.
Johnson's a junior defensive back, and with that good jump of the route, he forces Homestead into a punting situation. The Spartans have not yet picked up a 1st down in this game. Nobody back there to return it. Concordia is going to let it bounce, and not a bad decision, all things considered. It goes back to the 15-yard line. Actually took a Concordia bounce initially before it was pushed back by Tug Davis.
I think now Concordia's got a chance to talk about their offensive approach and what they've had success with. I think the downhill running game, B-gap to B-gap, that's in that area between the guard and the tackle, that area, downhill running game with Amir Drew is the way to go. Certainly had the most success of the evening so far with those type of run plays. Inside zone, a little power scheme they've run. I think we'll see a lot of that here.
A minute 46 to go in the 1st quarter with no score between the Cadets and the Spartans. Here's Drew getting the handoff, and again, the Homestead defense is all over him. And on the tackle was big number 46 for Homestead. That is Andrew Baer.
So as soon as I say the concept there of downhill running game, boy, I tell you, you'll see Homestead now really getting off the football quickly, penetrating those gaps. That's the key thing. And this defense, gap integrity is so important. Filling those gaps for your defensive linemen, then the linebackers filling the unoccupied gaps from the defensive linemen. So great job of run defense there.
Of course, Homestead is coached by a man who has a defensive background. Chad Zolman was once a defensive coordinator. Maddox throws complete to the far side, and a second effort for the first down by Luke Speckard.
Really like the concept of the play there for the quarterback. Really easy to read for him. Nice, quick, easy throw on the perimeter. Get the ball out of his hand quickly. That can get a young quarterback in a rhythm. Those nice, high-percentage throws. Hopefully we'll see some more of that. Give Maddox a little more of an advantageous concept, a little quicker concept to read.
Quick look at the replay here. The replay is brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Definitely a good second effort by Speckard to get away from the tackler and eventually move the chains. Handoff goes to Drew off the left side, and a good gain on first down. Gets out to about the 33, and that'll be a 4-yard gain for the senior. And Drew has rushed for over 1,000 yards in each of his last 2 seasons.
Boy, he's been the mainstay here. It seems like he's been here forever. Again, played such significant, had such significant reps even as a sophomore, and obviously last year as well. He's been the mainstay in the run game for many years.
And it looks like that will be the final play of the first quarter, as we are now ticking down to 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is the end of the first quarter. No score after 1 so far. Well, if you're wondering who's moved the ball better, so far it's been Concordia, but we've still got 3 quarters of football left to play. Back after this on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Well, we begin the second quarter. So far, from what we've just heard, the only game that has a score in it right now is Northrop versus Southside. 7-0 in that particular game. There's some high-profile games going on around the SAC so far tonight. Snyder versus Carroll, that's a big one. Snyder trying to bounce back from a big loss to Northside. Here's Maddox rolling to his left, throws it on the run, into traffic and incomplete. He was looking for Grossman in triple coverage.
Yeah, a little bootleg play. You finally get a little play action here. Kind of setting it up with the run game all day. A little bootleg. Tough to the quarterback's non-dominant side to his left to throw that over drag back across his body. Tough throw.
So that'll make it 3rd down and about 6 for Concordia. So far, that's the only true downfield throw, a throw that's gone 10 yards or more for Eli Maddox. They spread the field out here on 3rd and 6. Maddox goes for the slant. Off the hands and intercepted. Trey Kreiner with the pick.
What a great
big takeaway for Homestead.
What a great play. I tell you what, Homestead is bringing a ton of pressure right now against this Concordia defense. Again, understand a young quarterback going to pressure him as much as they possibly can, and that's really wreaking havoc with the decision speed that's forcing Maddox for him to have to make. Doing a great job on defense here, Homestead.
Homestead has yet to get a first down in this game. They fake the handoff to Hardwick. Pass is complete to Kistler. Shakes a tackle. He gets the first down, and Homestead finally moves the chains for the first time in this game.
Great concept there, getting the ball to one of your best playmakers out in space, and what a great job of finishing that hitch route, getting up the field there by Kistler.
Kistler was the leading receiver on a team with a talented receiving core that Homestead had a year ago. So many of those great athletes have since graduated. Ethan Chambers is still here. Jake Archbold has graduated, as has Griffin Little. Handoff goes to Hardwick straight up the middle, and another short gain. Again, the Concordia run defense strong to the task.
Tough yards in there for Hardwick. He's trying to get that surge and put his head down and get anything he can out of those of what he has. But I tell you what, again, like I mentioned before, especially on first down, Concordia's doing a great job of occupying those gaps and making it really difficult for any type of run game to happen.
This will be second down and about 8 as Ethan Chambers motions to the far side of the field. They go with the jet sweep off the left side, and they get out of bounds. Looks like about the 22-yard line.
Little jet sweep into the short side, into the boundary there. Great block there. It's a key block by Chambers, who has to reach that edge defender. That set the whole thing up to gain that edge. Really nice design there. You don't see a lot of jet sweeps into the short side, so nice little variation of a concept that Homestead loves to run.
That was Gage Sparrow who got the carry, and now it's going to be third and about 6. Armsby flag is down on the play. It's blown right after the snap, and that's going to back up the Spartans. A false start called against Homestead. It'll move it back to the 27-yard line. Make it third and 11.
You got to think Homestead's going to try to create some type of concept to get Jared Kistler an opportunity. Again, Chambers playing the tight end position to work, kind of that middle part of the field, and maybe you can occupy one defender and get Kistler one-on-one here.
Concordia will blitz. They get pressure. The pass is caught. That's Kistler. Makes a couple of moves. Going to be close to the first down, but I think he's short. Looks like he's short by a yard. I think he needed to get to the 16-yard line. He got to about the 17.
I think they're right at it.
They're going to call him short by about a yard.
Little receiver perimeter screen there. Again, great idea, getting the ball to one of your best skill players.
They're going to bring the chains out for a measurement. And where they have the ball right now is very close to the 11-yard line. So he may have gotten it. At first glance, it looked like he went down at the 12. Or excuse me, the 17-yard line. Right now, I said it's close to the 11. It's close to the 16. 16 is the line to gain, but they'll stretch the chains out. He got it by a nose.
Love the play call there on third and long. Getting the ball to a dynamic player in space, making a couple of blocks and giving him an opportunity to get the ball down the field for you. Love the rocket screen call there.
So the Spartans now have possession of the ball on the 11-yard line. It is first and 10. Excuse me, the 16-yard line.
So the Spartans are now inside the red zone. Their first trip to the red zone in this game. Ormsby will take the snap from the gun. It's a high snap. Handoff to Hardwick. Bounces to the outside. Oh, a good open field tackle. That might have been Cam Vanderbosch on the tackle. And indeed it was.
These cadets really, really play physical. Get to the football and they punish people. Like to hit, tackle well. Very impressive run defense here for the cadets.
Cam's older brother, Jalen Vanderbosch, played here at Concordia. He was a receiver and a defensive back. Actually transferred to Concordia from Carroll. Here's Ormsby thrown out of the flat, complete to Kistler. Second effort. I think he's got the first down. Going to be close. Maybe not. The official is standing about a half yard short of the line to gain, and he did not get it.
Love the route there, a little isolation route there with Kistler. Again, trying to isolate that best player the best you can. Give him an opportunity. It was a little snag route. Fakes the slant inside, pivots back out to the flat. Give him an opportunity to catch and run with it after the catch.
Looks like they're marking him at the 7. He would need the 6 for a first down. Armsby goes under center, and now a flag comes in, and it looks like it's against Concordia. Jared Kistler was immediately clapping, apparently going to be encroachment against the Cadets.
Yeah, one of those plays that you practice is an intentional hard count. Homestead did a great job of executing that, great hard count there, and got Concordia to jump.
Well, no doubt this has been the best drive of the game for Homestead, and of course got started off the carom pick by Trey Kreiner.
I think that what you've seen, too, is great balance from Homestead. You know, timely runs, then you have the perimeter screen or a quick pass, getting Kistler involved, which is obviously very, very important for Homestead's success.
Operating from the shotgun here on 1st and goal. Handoff goes to Hardwick, trying to stretch it wide, and he gets cut down again. And that's Vanderbosch again.
Vanderbosch doing a great job of setting the edge. It was an outside zone play. The ball, bounces outside the tackle. There's your corner who's setting that edge and doing a great job of making tackles to this drive.
That one a tackle for loss. He pushed him back all the way to, looks like, the 7-yard line. Coming up on 9 minutes to play here in the first half.
Really impressive, Vanderbosch, this drive. You don't see corners want to come up and tackle like that all the time. He's done an outstanding job.
Snap to Ormsby. Going for the slant. Dual possession, perhaps. It's a touchdown. I think that was Kistler who got it. Tie goes to the receiver, and it's Homestead who strikes first.
Well, that was a heck of a battle there, Thad. Looks like they both had possession of it, coming down with it. Again, Kistler's such a big, strong young man. I'm sure he did his best to get possession of the thing when they got to the ground, but that was certainly a tie. At least it looked initially when they hit the ground. I think that was Vanderbosch over there on the defensive side. Really fighting for that football. Did a heck of a job. That was pretty good coverage. Great catch.
I believe this is Joe Dugan on for the field goal, or the PAT rather, and he puts it through. Indeed, it is Dugan. And Homestead takes a 7-0 lead. We'll be right back after this here on SummitCitySports.com. Well, back here at Zollner Stadium, we will now show you our latest replay, and it's the replay of the touchdown that just happened. The replay's brought to you, of course, by Traction AP.
With that, I thought this was great coverage here. It appears to be Vanderbosch, if I'm not mistaken, on that side. I thought that was tremendous coverage and really a great battle as those guys both go to the ground with initial possession. It looked like to me, at least.
So Jared Kistler gets the game's first points, and Homestead has the early 7-0 lead on the road. Well, in last year's matchup, Concordia did not score until the final play of the game. 35-6 ended up being the final. Homestead with the win. A returnable kick, perhaps, but instead it'll be a touchback. Cam Johnson fielding it about halfway into that Crimson Turf end zone. This drive will start from the Concordia 20. Well, Concordia has moved the ball very well, but give Homestead credit. They've done a good job of making adjustments as drives have gone on, keeping Concordia from putting together too many big drives. Snap to Maddox. He'll hand it off to Drew, and not much room to work with. Palmer was in on that tackle along with big number 46, Andrew Baer.
Thad, Coach Zollman and Coach Messel, the defensive staff there, and Coach Rogers there for Homestead, getting their guys back, the starters back after being out last week was a huge thing, and I know they were chomping at the bit to get back into it, and you can tell these guys that were out last week are playing awfully tough and physical and very, very fast right now.
Well, Amir Drew's coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago against Southside. But does Concordia have a comeback in them? Only down 7. They'll go with the jet sweep to Grossman. He's pursued by Bear, trying to get to the angle. He does get the angle, and he'll turn it into a manageable third down situation.
Yeah, a little misdirection play there. Nice little change of pace play there for Concordia. Faking the inside zone play to Amir Drew and bringing a back or a receiver there from the backside there, a little reverse type action. Nice little play.
Going to make it 3rd and 3 after that jet sweep. Wasn't that long ago when Concordia won a state championship. That was back in 2016. And that was right after both Dwenger and Snyder won state in their respective classes in 2015. Maddox gets pressure. Oh, late block there at the end, but the pass was behind Grossman. Well, 7-0 is the score. Homestead with the lead. Again, that touchdown moments ago came off the board. But Armsby back to throw. Going to take a shot down the sideline, one-on-one, looking for Kistler, but it's incomplete. Well, if you're going to go one-on-one, that's probably the man you want to look to.
Love the idea, certainly. We were kind of waiting for it all along to get his vertical shot to Kistler. Really good coverage, staying on top in the backfield. I'm guessing we're going to see a steady dose here with 3 timeouts remaining here, 1:30 left.
They go with the option, a little jet sweep to Johnson, and he's dropped behind the line.
Again, kind of creating speed option to one direction, reverse back the other way. Again, usually you want to do those things as an offense if you're having a tough time dealing with a fast defense, fast pursuing defense. Get direct, action one way, bring it back the other with reverse action. That's what Concordia did there.
Off the hands of Maddox, he falls on it. That's going to make it 3rd down for the Cadets with 42 seconds to go.
It's a pretty simple thing. If you don't get a good center snap and that exchanges the quarterback, things get awfully tough as an offense. We've seen that a couple of times tonight here from Concordia.
It'll bring up 3rd and 19 after the bobbled snap.
Going to be an interesting approach here with 20 seconds left. No one's stopping the clock. Concordia has to snap the ball with about 3 or 4 seconds here on the game clock.
athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Well, we are back here at Concordia High School. It is 7-0 Homestead with the lead over Concordia. Do apologize for some connection issues that we've been having, but we're trying to get those resolved as we go on. 7-0 Homestead with the lead at halftime. And it's been primarily a defensive struggle. Both teams coming up with some big defensive plays. Both teams have been able to contain the opposing running backs for the most part.
Yeah, I think that's been the focus for both defenses, Thad, is to stop the run game, and they certainly have thus far. You see a lot in these odd front defenses. So 3-3 stack from Homestead, a little more of a 3-4 variation from Concordia. Getting linebackers, jumping in gaps, really trying to create havoc at the point of attack in the run game. You see that a lot, and you're starting to see these offenses now trying to find creative ways to get the ball on the edges. Move the ball around, create a different attack point. Doing some creative things. I think Homestead has found a way to be a lot more balanced. Find a way to take some shots. Incorporate the screen game, big run pass option. I'm seeing a lot of that from Homestead, more than I have in the last couple of years. So a lot of run pass option. Reading one run defender, if he commits to the run, the ball is pulled and thrown to a route. And obviously if that defender is playing the pass, then the ball will be given on the run. So a lot of that type of game playing is happening here with Homestead. As for Concordia, they got to get Maddox comfortable. I think the success that they've had offensively, is obviously getting Amir Drew involved and getting the downhill running game going, and then throwing the quick, controlled passing game. I think is the key for a young quarterback to get him some type of rhythm and comfortability, and then maybe take a shot down the field. I'd like to see Grossman involved. Find a creative way to get him involved, much like Homestead's done with Kistler. I think Grossman's a key weapon for the Concordia Cadets. So anxious to see what their approach is going to be in the second half. The coaching staff's got a chance to meet and talk about their adjustments and see how they what their attack plan is here in the second half.
Well, the teams will get about 3 extra minutes for warm-ups as we are getting closer and closer to the start of the second half. We will be right back after this quick break here on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Got about 20 seconds left until that third quarter starts. Well, Concordia started with the football in the first half, so it will be Homestead getting the ball to start the second half. Concordia, they have moved the ball well in the running game, but Homestead has been able to find ways to get some stops, and both teams have turned the ball over a number of times as well. Part of that is a credit to the great defensive play of both these teams. They have a lot of great defensive talent.
Yeah, the secondaries have played well, too, at the timely interceptions. And, I think the other thing for Concordia I didn't mention earlier, is getting the center quarterback exchange, that shotgun snap down. That's really, created some issues there for them with timing on jet sweeps and even a turnover. And then, even a third and long had to fall on a poor snap. And it's something you got to work all the time. And, again, with a little bit wet conditions, as the field probably still is a little bit damp still from the hard rain we had earlier, got to get that down first and foremost. That's step one in offensive football. So, we'll anxious to see what each team's approach, again, the adjustments that they've made at halftime and what their approach is going to be here in the opening drive of the second half.
Well, these are some of our most recent updates, so bear with us here. But our latest update from Wayne versus Bishop Luers, the Generals lead that one 22-17 at halftime. That was our most recent update. And our most recent update from Carroll, the Chargers lead the Panthers of Snyder 33-0. Now, that Carroll team, they have got a lot of talent.
Yeah, quite a few weapons there. And, again, kind of a weird situation for Snyder. Looks to be a rebuilding year. Somewhat of a rebuilding year for Snyder. Again, there's still a lot of talent. There's some young, big-time prospects in that team. But, again, to kind of find their way. A lot of inexperienced players, playing their second high school football game. So you don't see that very often with Snyder Panthers, them rebuilding. But, yeah, definitely a talent team for Carroll High School.
Little squib kick taken from about the 37-yard line. And that is right about where Homestead will start. That's Max Schultz on the return. He's a multi-sport athlete. I got to cover some of his AAU games. AAU basketball, that is. Spartans will take over at about the 37-yard line. And for Evan Armsby, he's a senior making just his second start at the quarterback position.
Ormsby's had some really good moments in the first half, made some great throws, and he misfired on a couple others.
Snap to Armsby. He'll fake the handoff, go right across the middle, and finds Chambers for the first down.
Yeah, back to that run-pass option again. The linebackers are so aggressive for Concordia. Again, there's an isolation read on a defender, a linebacker. If he plays run, the ball is pulled and thrown into the slant route there with the tight end. That's the whole idea with run-pass option, putting that run defender in conflict.
So Armsby will operate once again from the gun. Takes a high snap, running out of time, gets it away, and throws complete to Chambers in traffic. He ran right into Dontrell Johnson. Looked like he actually ran him over.
Yeah, Ormsby's really made great throws between the hashes on that in-cut route with a tight end there. It's the second time we've seen that. Probably his two best throws of the evening we have seen between the hashes. Another great throw there, ball absolutely pinpoint perfect on that in-cut with Chambers. Chambers does a great job of using his hands to catch the football. And he's not a really big guy, but he plays big. Extends those arms and gets separation from that defender.
Handoff goes to Braden Hardwick, trying to get to the next level, and another short gain for Hardwick. It's a guy who had over 200 rushing yards last week in the game against Northrop.
And balance is key for Homestead. We've kind of talked about it all night. I really believe that's the approach that they want to have because it sets up everything. The balance in the run game, the play action game, the run-pass option game. That's all the things that Homestead really wants to do in this game.
I'm getting reports that it's better.
Homestead trying to build on their lead. They've got Ormsby out of the shotgun. Ormsby takes the snap, running out of time, gets it away, but it's incomplete. And he threw that one right in the direction of wide receiver number 2, Nate Anderson.
Yep, another wide receiver screen there, much like they threw to Kistler in the first half, just on the other side down to the left side. Just missed a little bit with that throw on that wide receiver screen.
So that's the incompletion. 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Spartans. Ormsby looks to throw, goes to the sideline, in traffic, incomplete, right off the hands of Kistler. Had him but in a tight window, and it looks like a punt coming for Homestead.
You're very impressed with the 3rd down defense from both squads. A lot of variation. These high school defenses have taken a page from the NFL and the college playbooks. There's so much variation on 3rd downs. Creates a whole new set of preparation things, and certainly having to execute versus blitz schemes, coverage variations. You're seeing that from both defenses tonight. Done a great job. That was a situation. The corner ended up playing the flat area, got underneath that route. Create some indecision there for Armsby.
Grossman will let this one go, and it goes into the end zone. So a wise decision by the senior punt returner / wide receiver, and Concordia will take over at its own 20. Now Concordia, they had the ball at the 20-yard line in Homestead territory, decided to go for it on 4th and long rather than attempt the field goal. And this is the, I believe, 2nd year in a row that Concordia has been shut out by Homestead in the first half. Last year, Homestead beat Concordia 35-6. Obviously, these teams look a little bit different. Concordia definitely looks different with Brandon Davis not available. Meanwhile, there's a mix-up on what would have been a handoff.
Yeah, miscommunication between quarterback and tailback there of what direction the scheme was going. I didn't look closely enough at the run scheme up front to know who was wrong there, but obviously some miscommunication between quarterback and running back.
Going to be 2nd down and about 11 after the negative play.
Coach Manigault and staff have got to find some things for this young man to be comfortable in. Whether it's a screen, whether it's some type of quick passing game, something controlled to get him some confidence, get him in some type of rhythm.
Play clock is down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. And he might have just gotten it off as Drew goes absolutely nowhere on the play. In on the tackle for Homestead was big number 48. That's Isaac Parrish. Not sure if that's any relation to Joe Parrish, who played football as well as being a high school wrestler. He not only was on the wrestling team, he broke the record for the school record, that is, for Homestead pinfalls. Pinfall victories, that is. Pat, I don't know if you've ever wrestled before.
Oh, no. No, sir. That was not my thing. Losing weight for me was never fun. Still isn't.
Homestead will blitz. Maddox steps up. Going to take a shot downfield. He's got a man there. And it's knocked away at the last second, but here comes a flag. That's going to be pass interference, as there with the coverage was Austin Keyser. Maddox was looking for Luke Speckard.
Pretty good ball there by Maddox. A little bit late maybe on the delivery, but the ball certainly got there. Giving one of these big receivers an opportunity down the field. Again, drew that pass interference.
So that's going to be an automatic first down for the Cadets.
One thing that Speckard did get behind the Spartan defense there, so that may be something that Concordia sees. They want to take another shot here eventually. Seeing that matchup maybe to get a big play.
Not only that, the ball was underthrown, and it looked like if Keyser turns around and plays the football, he at least knocks it away and possibly comes up with the interception. Yeah, I'm sure that's one thing that every coaching staff in the area emphasizes: play the football, turn around, look for the ball. Here's Drew getting the call, and he picks up about a yard on the play.
Yeah, really nothing going here for Concordia in the run game probably the last quarter and a half or so. Homestead's done a great job, again, of really getting the gaps, being stout in the run game, getting those linebackers downhill. Again, what a great shot in the arm for this defense to get those seniors that were out last week back. And they've made such a difference tonight. The whole group have done a great job defending the run all evening.
Drew remains the lone setback here on 2nd down and 9. Bobbled snap. Maddox has to fall on it again.
Eli Maddox in the fumble in the backfield when he recovers it himself.
And again, Concordia sets itself backwards with the quarterback-center exchange.
Yeah, these are the things that will keep you up at night as a coach. Over and over again. This is about the 4th or 5th one at least tonight. The poor exchange. And Maddox has done a great job of fielding these things. Again, you feel for the center. It's one of those things that he's got so many things on his plate, and it's a tough thing, to get that snap back first and obviously deal with somebody right in your face in this 3-3 stack defense. He's got to deal with a nose guard the entire game, and it's definitely a challenge.
Maddox going to take another shot. He's got a man. It's Speckard. Hauled in across the 40-yard line. A big play for the Cadet offense.
We talked about it before. The pass interference play a few plays ago went right back to it. That opportunity, they saw an opportunity there with Speckard one-on-one vertically. Very, very similar concept. Great throw. That throw was absolutely on time there, Thad. That's why it was delivered. Thrown intentionally a little bit short for Speckard to come back and high point the ball. Well-executed play. Best play in the passing game all night for the Cadets.
And they get the ball to the 35 with that pass play. Hand off to Drew. Surges ahead, and it's another short gain on 1st down.
Another example of stout run defense from the Spartans. We've seen that, probably really since that first drive, Thad, where Concordia had some success running the football. They've really locked things down since.
Well, in on that tackle was Matt Miller, the nose tackle. And Miller, early in the season last year, he was making a big impact, particularly in the pass rush for Homestead. I believe he had 4.5 sacks in a span of 2 weeks. And a couple of those came against these here Cadets. Maddox back to throw. Looks downfield. A sidearm throw. Is that caught? It was! That's Speckard along the sideline.
Great job by Speckard of finding that football. It's really kind of thrown in traffic. got his head snapped around and found that football amongst some bodies there. Boy, that's a confident throw there by Maddox to find and have the courage to throw that thing in there into coverage. But a great catch there by Speckard and having the awareness of getting one foot down.
And they're looking at the Traction AP replay. It looks like he did get the foot down. I may have bobbled a little bit on the way out, though.
No replay, Thad. We're good.
Not at the high school level. You viewers at home have the benefit of being able to watch the replay, but the folks here at the stadium don't. But it goes as a first down, and Concordia is in the red zone. Homestead will blitz a low snap to Maddox, and he gets drilled. Trey Kreiner with the sack for Homestead.
Homestead really getting off the football now. I'm sure Concordia is aware of this and may have to start mixing up the snap count, going on a quick count. They are really timing up that snap count, getting off the football. That penetration came through those A gaps and it got there in a hurry. Even though it was a low snap, quick penetration there by the Homestead Spartan defense.
Got the ball at the 23-yard line after the negative play. Snap to Maddox. He throws out in the flat. That pass is incomplete in the direction of Grossman. He had defenders all around him.
It's the first time I've seen Grossman targeted tonight, Thad. He's been mainstay for this Concordia offense for many, many years. First time we've seen him targeted from the slot. Got to be careful, the young quarterback. That corner did zone off there on that flat route. Again, we've seen a couple of those interceptions today. Those corners have really made some great plays, jumping on footballs on both sides this evening. So, the quarterback is a concept that he's probably worked on, but seeing that element of that corner zoning off to that flat route, got to be aware of that.
Again, a long down and distance situation for the Cadets. This Homestead team has been one that they've struggled with, even going back to 2016 when Concordia won their state championship. All mix-up there on the handoff. Who's got it? I think Homestead does. They do. And it's Matt Miller coming out of the pile with the football. Homestead takes over after Concordia had driven into the red zone.
Yeah, tough going here with the quarterback center exchange. That's, again, like I said, that's the first step in offensive football. That's got to be taken care of first, and it gets awfully frustrating and creates a lot of stress on your offense. Something they need to get ironed out here this next drive.
Just about to mention, two teams that have been a thorn in Concordia's side have been both Homestead and Snyder. They lost to both of those teams in 2016 and yet went on to win state. Ormsby had a little trouble with the snap, and Concordia gets to him.
I think it's contagious.
Cooper Harris was the first to get there. He's a senior linebacker, one of the anchors on this defense, and indeed it seems like it has been contagious. Now, both of these quarterbacks have kind of been thrown into the fire, if you will. Armsby, it's his second start. He takes over for Luke Goody. But Eli Maddox having to take over for Brandon Davis, who would be the starting quarterback, and he's an experienced senior quarterback. Even got a chance to start as a sophomore in 2018 when Jake Bird wasn't able to go against Carroll. Snap to Ormsby. He pumps. Steps up in the pocket. Fires downfield. And it's intercepted. And racing the other way is Braden Payne. Gets out of bounds near the 20.
What a great read there by Payne. That route's called a sluggo route. It's a slant and go route there by Kistler. So he shows the slant, makes that corner commit and play the slant, then works vertically in behind him. It's what that route was. Unbelievable recognition by Payne of the route. Ball a little bit late and underthrown, but again, Payne does a great job of playing that football and recognizing the double move route. Unbelievable job there.
And only the players and the event staff get to see this, but the benefit of having a Jumbotron is you get to put up nice little graphics on your screen, and that's what Concordia has there. They had the word interception pop up. I think this is the first year that Concordia has had a quote-unquote Jumbotron. Nothing like that big Jumbotron they have down in Dallas, but I don't think anything's as big as that. Talking about the one down in Jerry World, that is. Here's the handoff to Drew. Tries to surge ahead. He'll get about 2 on the play.
Well, Coach Manigault getting back to basics here is tired of the poor center quarterback exchanges, went under center there. I believe he can run most of his offense from under center, the run game at least. The unique thing about being under center as opposed to being the gun, it does throw the quarterback's timing off a little bit with the drop in the passing game. A little bit different under center, certainly with the drop from shotgun. But again, I think he's fed up with it, Thad, and he's going under center.
Certainly not a surprise. It was a fumbled snap that cost Concordia the last time they got the ball down into the red zone. Could potentially have been in position to bring out Joe Gutman to get them on the board with a field goal. Play action. Maddox looks to throw, lofts it into traffic. Is that caught? It is caught by Tyler Grossman in a tight window.
Talk about a tight window, no question. What a great combat catch there by Grossman. Heck of a job seeing that football, being physical, snagging that football, and bringing the ball into his body. Just an outstanding job. Again, courage throw there by the young quarterback. Made it happen, and what a great catch.
And with that, it is 1st and goal for the Cadets. They've got the ball at the 9-yard line. First time they've had a goal-to-go situation. And the handoff goes to Drew. Battling against tacklers, trying to get inside the 5. What a second effort by Amir Drew.
You know, Thad, one of the benefits, I think, for maybe being under center now for the Cadets is that run game, that downhill run game, hits a little bit quicker. And again, not allowing the speed of Homestead really to get to the point of attack as fast. It appeared in that particular play, the Cadets really got north and south quickly because, again, that exchange is happening a little bit faster being under center as opposed to being the shotgun. So kind of an interesting change of pace here a little bit. I'm assuming Coach Manigault and staff, they've worked this at some point under center. But, a little bit different approach here.
This drive was set up by an interception by Braden Payne. Homestead shows blitz, the give to Drew, trying to bounce off tacklers. Good second effort, but doesn't gain much. Might have gotten a yard on the play, going to bring up 3rd and goal.
That's been really the key, I think, all evening, really stopping the run for Homestead is those second-level players, those plug blitzes, getting those gaps and really wreaking havoc at the point of attack. Great example of that right there. Again, active linebackers for the Spartans.
What do you think the chances are that we see a little play-action pass here?
It's a great opportunity for it. Certainly the down and distance are favorable. It's a fast-flowing defense. You love bootleg here. Of course, you worry about the edge in that situation. If there's a blitzer off the edge, it creates havoc. But it's a fast-flowing defense. Bootlegs are always good.
Fumble on the handoff. Homestead ends up with it in the end. 2 guys pounced on it. Palmer couldn't grab it. But in the end, Homestead defender number 3, Cole Etchison, the senior linebacker, comes up with it, and again, Concordia turns it over, driving toward the end zone.
Again, it appears that they've probably not worked the quarterback under center exchange, and then the exchange to the tailback. So again, everything's a little bit different than being in the gun. So it looked like there was again just a poor exchange from quarterback to tailback on that mesh point.
Well, Northside High School is not too far from here, and it looks like we got an interesting game going on there. Tied 14-14 last heard.
I think a report that 39-6 now, Carroll over Snyder.
I believe so. It was 33-6 not long ago, so Carroll might have just recently scored. They've got plenty of guys who can score. Tossed to Hardwick, strung out, and pushed out at about the 2-yard line.
If Concordia comes back and wins this game, Thad, you've got to really, really tip your cap to this defense. They have been stout all night. You see the effort level, getting to the football. Anytime that Homestead runs a perimeter play, whether it's a screen, jet sweep, toss play, you see those black shirts get there in a hurry. Great effort on that defense.
So Armsby's going to have to take the snap here from his own end zone, unless, of course, he goes under center. He is going to go shotgun with Hardwick right behind him. This offensive line is really going to have to do the job here. Ormsby throws it to the sideline, has a man open. Gage Sparrow with the grab. Gets out of the shadow of the end zone.
Love that play call. Having the courage, Coach Skelton and the offensive staff having the courage to make that call in the end zone. The little seam route with the slot receiver up the hash. beautiful football there by Armsby. One of the better throws we've seen tonight from him. He is really good between the hashes in those throws. Whether it's a vertical seam route, he did throw that corner post route for the touchdown that got called back. Has really been good on the in cut as well with his tight end and slot receivers. So, what a courageous call and well executed play there by the Spartans.
They'll start this from the 34-yard line, or rather they'll take it from the 34. Hand off to Hardwick, gets to the second level and gets a good gain there on first down. Hardwick hasn't really had the big gains that we're used to seeing, although he did have a couple of big touchdown runs in this game last year.
Tough running in between the tackles. Again, Concordia's done a great job in a stout run defense. You see Coach Skelton incorporating some motion, selling the jet sweep action, try to thin that second level out to make them honor that jet sweep, to give you a little better run lanes inside between the tackles. That's a prime example of what happened there. Again, thinned out that defense a little bit, honoring that jet sweep.
And it is still 14-14 between Dwenger and Northside. Northrop leads 13-0 over Southside. Good cut by Hardwick to get the first down out across the 45, and a flag comes in at the end of the play. It might be coming back. Either that or the officials just holding everybody off. The flag came in at the end of the play. It's coming back. It's a hold on Homestead. That's an awfully late holding call, I must say.
Yeah, I couldn't tell the hold was on there, Thad, but that was the obviously the other element of the run-pass option, the run phase. I think now, Concordia's done a little bit, they've done a great job defending the run game all night, but again, with all the moving parts, the jet sweep actions, things like that, the linebackers aren't getting downhill quite as quickly as they once were, and that was the run element of the run-pass option. Linebacker playing, kind of flat-footed. That's the give read for the quarterback there and the running back on the run-pass option.
We've got 11 seconds left here in the third quarter. You would think this would be the final play of the quarter. Ormsby on the option, tosses it to Hardwick. A change in direction, breaks a tackle, and Hardwick gets the first down. The run after contact by Hardwick.
Shows the toughness of Hardwick. That's his game. Runs behind his pads well, finishes runs. Very, very physical. A little speed option play, which we've not seen from Homestead tonight, getting the ball on the edge quickly. It's not like a jet sweep. It's happened even a little bit quicker than jet sweep, getting the ball on the edge right now. Great example of a concept, again, trying to get the ball at a different attack point. On the edge is outside the tackle.
It's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Now, we do have a quick update. Things have changed over at Wayne. Bishop Luers now leads that one 25-22. Give you some other updates as we go on, but we've got the fourth quarter coming your way back after this break here on SummitCitySports.com.
Yeah, 14-14.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Ready to start the fourth quarter here at Zollner Stadium. New and improved Zollner Stadium, I might add. But moments ago, the Concordia Cadets had a chance to tie this game, but a fumble by Amir Drew on a handoff allowed Homestead to get the ball back. And now Homestead appears to have something going coming out of this turnover.
That's really been the story tonight, really, Thad. The center exchanges, the mistakes made by the Concordia offense has really put their defense in tough spots, and they've really risen to the challenge each and every time. 7-0 game. They've done a heck of a job because they've had their backs against the wall numerous times, certainly.
How about this? Carroll leads Snyder 42-6. You think they got a good program over at Carroll? They put a hurting on Lures last week, and now they're doing the same to Snyder. And that's two coaches who used to be on the same staff together. Doug Dinan and Kurt Tippmann were once assistant coaches at Snyder. A good second effort by Hardwick, but a flag is down. Last year in the regular season, Tippmann's Panthers got the last laugh, winning by just one over Carroll, but then Carroll got the better of them in the postseason.
Those are two great games last year, watching those games. And again, Snyder's in a very unique situation for the Snyder Panther program in a rebuild. You never have ever seen that, I think, in probably the nearly 50 years. I guess it's about 50 years of Snyder football at this point. So pretty rare circumstance, but it does happen to even the best programs, certainly.
Snyder will host these Concordia Cadets next week at Spooler. And it was just last year that there were some improvements made to Spooler Stadium, particularly when it comes to the new field turf that was laid down.
Well, it's great to see that. It's taken the Fort Wayne area a little bit longer than some other areas in the state to get the artificial surface, but it's a safer surface. Obviously, the maintenance is nowhere near the headaches that the natural surface brings to an athletic department and the school system. And this is the beautiful facility here at Zollner Stadium. They couldn't have done it any better, in my opinion.
And, of course, we had plenty of heavy rain before this game got started. We do have a discussion right now between the officials. There was a flag thrown. Waiting to find out exactly what's going on here.
Trailing Carroll 6-42. And Lee is trailing Bishop Lures 22-25.
Just got the announcement, still a close game over at Wayne High School, and looks like the penalty is on Concordia. Officials is explaining things to Tim Manigal. They're moving the ball up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, I never saw what the infraction actually was. I never saw a signal. Not sure why we moved it back and brought it back to the original spot. That was definitely an inadvertent whistle. I'm hearing that.
Yeah, we just heard the announcement here in the booth, inadvertent whistle. Snap to Armsby, hands it off to Hardwick. A cutback run by Hardwick. Tripped up as he gets to the 45. A good gain there for Braden Hardwick.
Great vision there by Hardwick. It was a tight zone play, hitting it north and south, and broke it back outside once he saw that little crease. Great vision to get those extra yards.
Going to make it second down and about 3, it looks like. And when we last heard, Northrop was leading Southside by a score of 13-0. They defeated Homestead last week. Ormsby to throw out in the flat. Dangerous pass, incomplete, broken up at the last second. And that was Braden Payne who got there defensively for Concordia.
Yeah, that was the play that Vanderbosch picked off in the second quarter. It's a little run-pass option, reading the flat defender, double hitches on the outside. So if that outside linebacker, plays run, you pull and throw the hitches. If he plays outside, you give the football. But again, those corners are really, really aggressive defending those hitch routes.
Option play, Ormsby on the keeper, goes down. A whole host of cadets there to make the tackle. Matt Gegline was one of them, one of the seniors at the linebacker position with a little help from his friends.
That same speed option play that Homestead had success with a few plays prior. I believe that was a third down as well. The last one they converted. A little adjustment there by the cadets. Now the end working upfield, forcing the quarterback to keep the football and not pitch, forcing the fourth down.
Now Homestead will go for it on 4th and 3. 3 down linemen for the cadets. Ormsby, a little pooch punt. And that will take a Concordia bounce out to about the 19-yard line, and that's where the cadets will start this next drive. Nate Anderson was there to down it for the Spartans.
Yep, a little quick kick there from the quarterback. If you got a guy that can kick it a little bit, that's a nice weapon. Line up in an offensive formation doesn't allow that defense to put a guy deep, so you can pin a team deep that way. Pretty decent job there by Armsby to put the ball, at the 19-yard line there on the quick kick.
Couple of updates. Bishop Dwenger now leads Northside 20-14. Looks like they're late in the third quarter in that one, and Wayne has retaken the lead. They lead Bishop Luers 30-25. Still 42-6 in favor of Carroll. Looking to throw is Maddox. He takes a shot. He's got a man in space, and reaching up to almost make the grab was Speckard. I thought for sure he was going to pull that one down. He probably thought the same thing.
Great ball there by Maddox, giving your tall receiver an opportunity. In today's game, corners do such a great job defending verticals. Balls are thrown intentionally short to let a taller receiver come back and high point the ball, like a jump ball or get a rebound off the glass if you're a basketball player. Same idea as a football player. Ball thrown short intentionally, let you go up and high point. Again, Speckard, time to jump, just couldn't come down with it.
Operating from the pistol here on 2nd and 10. Maddox looks to throw. Goes to the sideline. Incomplete. Was looking for Grossman, but the throw was off the mark. I think Speckard might have been in the area of that one, too.
I'm not sure who that was going to. Man-to-man coverage there by the corner out there for Homestead. It's a tough throw. It's got to be pinpoint versus man-to-man coverage on an out-breaking route.
10 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. In other words, we got a lot of football left to be played. Eli Maddox, talk about being thrown into the fire. Hey, your starting quarterback gets hurt. And Coach Manigault probably basically told him, hey, we need you here, son. I know this is a big game, but go out there and win us one. Go out there and help us win one, perhaps. Low snap. Maddox running out of time. Escapes the first man, but not the second. That's Matt Miller with the sack.
It's a cliche term, Tab. That's a coverage sack. Great job by the Homestead defense, locking up those receivers, defending the concept, allowing the pass rush to eventually get there. That's exactly what happened there. Unbelievable pass coverage there by the Spartans.
Could be coming down to the wire here at Zollner Stadium, but the Concordia defense is going to need a stop on this next possession. Homestead trying to potentially put the game away as Jace Parnan's kick goes low. It does take a Concordia bounce, but it will not reach midfield. 9:23 to go. And when we last heard, Bishop Dwenger was leading Northside 20-14. That is a huge game going on, not too far away from us, in fact. In fact, neither of those schools are far away. But they're going back and forth over on the southern portion of Fort Wayne. Bishop Luers has taken the lead over Wayne 32-30.
I'm guessing it's probably the best game of the evening, do you think? This one's a pretty good one, too. Defensive struggle, but that Wayne Luers game sounds intriguing.
Good run by Hardwick. Gets the first down out to the 35.
That zone read play we talked about before, great read there by Ormsby, giving the football. Defensive ends upfield. That's the give read to the running back. Great surge there off the mesh there with the quarterback exchange, and a great run there by Hardwick.
14-0 the score, meanwhile, over at Northrop High School. And, of course, Spooler Stadium is on the campus of Northrop High School. That's where Concordia will be next week, but they won't be playing Northrop. They'll be playing Snyder. Those two teams, of course, share that stadium, and I think that's one of the reasons that's fueled such a big rivalry. Ormsby keeps this one, trying to get what he can, but he's run down from behind.
Same play as the previous. Now that's the pull read. So the defensive end defends and plays down the line of scrimmage to the running back. The quarterback reads that defender, pulls the ball, and tries to get it on the edge.
I believe that was Grant Hayworth on the tackle. He's a sophomore defensive lineman. He and James Rusher have both gotten some good minutes. They're both sophomores in this front seven for Concordia. Rusher's a linebacker. Hayworth plays on the D-line. 2nd down and 9 for the Spartans. Hardwick gets the call. Second effort gets out to about the 31-yard line.
is the point of the game. I don't know what the play breakdown is, the number of plays, but I know Concordia has defended a whole bunch of them with that. And it's at the point in the game here, just under 8 minutes, getting worn down a little bit. Played a lot of football tonight, this defense. Done a great job, but again, they're starting to wear down.
Well, it's now 3rd and long. Actually, 3rd and 6. As Armsby lines up in the gun. 3 down linemen for the Cadets. An option play. Armsby will keep it. Loses the ball. Who's got it? Concordia does. That took no time at all.
Well, this has to be a shot in the arm a little bit here for the Concordia Cadets. You know, they've been given so many opportunities tonight, with their defense playing so well. They've got to string something together if they can. Give themselves a chance to put points on the board here. They got to get some life. They got to get some fire because their defense has played outstanding all night. Creating turnovers, making tons of plays out there. Just an outstanding defensive game, top to bottom here for the Cadets.
If I'm not mistaken, Concordia's defense has 3 interceptions, so add another fumble to that list.
It's at least 4 takeaways, that from my calculation here, if I remember correctly.
I believe your calculation and mine are both the exact same. Low snap. Maddox will toss it on the jet sweep. Grossman pursued brilliantly, and he goes down. Trey Kreiner was the first to get to him when all was said and done. Also got a little bit of help from Carter Cronenwet.
Yeah, a little reverse play, create action one direction, bring Grossman back the other way to try to get him involved. Again, one of their offensive weapons. They're trying to get involved. Try to do that with a little bit of reverse there. Now they're 2nd and extra long here. Got to find something that's high percentage here to get positive yards to make it a manageable 3rd to give Maddox an opportunity to make a good decision on 3rd down in the passing game.
This is 2nd down and 17 after the negative play. Low snap again. This time Drew gets the call and finds a seam. Gets out to the 30-yard line. And that'll make it 3rd and about 5.
Really loose box there by Homestead. They thinned out the second level with the trips formation to the wide side of the field. The linebackers bumped out over the 3 receivers, really thinned out the numbers inside the box there, which gave that great run opportunity there for the Cadets and Amir Drew.
Coming up on 6 minutes to play here at Zollner Stadium. Homestead leads at 7-0. They got their first score of the game in the second quarter. Their only score of the game, that is. Maddox rolling right. Flags are down. Maddox throws downfield. Has a man open. And that's Speckard with the catch, but we'll check on the penalty. There were 2 flags thrown. Check that. That was Grossman with the catch. I think it's coming back.
I'm assuming it's a holding, Thad. Really great job of extending the play. Unfortunately, you do extend the play and you get outside that tackle box so many times as a quarterback. That's when those offensive linemen are unaware of where the quarterback is and a holding can take place. That's exactly what happened there.
Now, I don't know if I agree 100% with John Madden that holding takes place on every play, but it does get missed quite frequently. So I got to imagine that these Concordia kids are thinking, wait, holding? That's what brought us back?
Well, since we started blocking with our hands, I think probably since, the early 60s maybe when the rules changed in football, essentially we are holding every play. We're using our hands and grab it on, certainly as offensive players.
Well, we have a timeout on the field. Concordia is going to be faced with a 3rd and 17 after the penalty, and we'll come right back to bring that next play to you here on SummitCitySports.com.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location where people know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports.
Really good players.
Well, this is 3rd and 17 for Concordia. Thad Goff along with Pat Donnelly as Homestead has a 7-0 lead. Concordia trying to get something going here late in the game. We've got 5:58 to play in the fourth quarter. Maddox rolls left, throws on the run, has a man. It is caught! Tyler Grossman Did not have the first down, though. And there is a flag on the play as well. He needed to get to the 35 to move the chains. Or did he have the first down?
There's a little bit of a collision here. I wonder if this is going to be called offensive pass interference because there was a little bit of a rub. Oh, it's on the defense. Okay. There were some receivers, kind of running into one another. I was curious to see if they're going to call like some type of pick or something like that there. But they called on the defense, which I did not see at all. I saw the two Concordia players bump into each other, which picked off the Homestead defender. What a great catch. Another comeback. Was that Grossman, I believe?
It was Grossman.
Yeah, Grossman, another comeback catch. Does a great job going up and attacking the football in traffic. That's a tough job, that slot receiver, Thad. Catching the ball in traffic all the time. Great job there by Grossman.
They declined the penalty. Concordia did get the first down at the 37-yard line. Little misdirection there on the handoff to Drew. Bounces off one man, but then runs into a couple of defenders.
Play we haven't seen in some time. Pulling the backside guard and tackle, a little tray play, they call it. Pulling the backside offensive lineman to get point of attack blockers for Amir Drew. Again, great job by Homestead pursuing the football and making that play.
We approach the 5-minute mark. 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Maddox goes from the gun. He looks to throw, bit of a low snap. Maddox takes a shot down the sideline. Has a man, but it's knocked away at just the last second. And getting his hand on the football there was Isaac Barks.
Great play by Barks as there was a receiver breaking vertically down the field. That was a 4 vertical play there for Concordia. Had the receiver open, and the safety worked over in his half of the field, getting off the hash and making that great play. That could have gone, Thad, if that safety wasn't there to make that deflection. Pretty good concept there by Concordia, attacking him vertically.
I think he was looking for Jace Parnan, if I'm not mistaken, number 10, a junior wide receiver. His older brother, Jaden Parnan, recently signed to play college baseball at Ivy Tech, and Jaden was a 3-sport athlete here at Concordia. Played baseball, basketball, and football. Here's Maddox right down the middle, into traffic but incomplete.
Great football there. Great football by Maddox. It's a tough throw in traffic that's there. The Cadets got to find a way to try to make that play. It's a great throw, one of the best ones of the evening, I think, from Maddox, the young quarterback. That's not an easy one, certainly in traffic in the middle part of the field around those linebackers.
And now there's a decision to make for Concordia on 4th and 9. Do you go for it and risk giving the ball back to Homestead in plus territory, or do you punt it away? Looks like they're going to go for it.
Really no hesitation for Coach Manigault there to go for it here with just under 5 minutes to go.
And if you do give the ball back to Homestead, obviously you got to trust your defense to not let them bleed out the clock. Maddox gets pressure, gets it away. Incomplete. It was behind the intended receiver, Parnan, and there with the coverage was Aaron Wagner, and Homestead indeed will take over in plus territory.
Well, I think the decision, again, the way the Concordia defense has played all night, Thad, and again, that was a drive that kept the Concordia defense off the field for a period of time, so they're a little bit more rested than they've been the last few drives. So Coach Manigault had a lot of faith in his defense, has a lot of faith in his defense for obvious reasons, and he decided to go for it there. Again, didn't hesitate at all, and this is really the drive that makes or breaks the game, certainly for the Cadets.
Well, here's an update from outside of the city of Fort Wayne. New Haven leads Mississinawa 14-7, and there's the handoff to Hardwick. He's corralled at the line of scrimmage. I think Gegline was one of the guys in on that tackle, along with Isaiah Rusher.
Good story tonight. Concordia's done an outstanding job defending the run. Really have.
They're going to need to score quick if they get the ball back here. Homestead's not quite in field goal range. Now, if they were to try a field goal from here, that would probably be a high school record. You're talking about a 55-yard kick. I don't think anybody's attempted that at the high school level. I could be wrong, though. Handoff goes to Hardwick, trying to stretch it wide, breaks a tackle, turns it upfield. Comes up about a yard short of the first down. Dontrell Johnson was one of the guys that made sure he didn't get there. But now Homestead with a chance to continue to run some more time off the clock.
Great example of situational football. The Homestead staff, the offensive staff in particular, which we're watching work here, Coach Skelton and staff, unbelievable job. This is an example of the 4-minute offense. Okay, your best run plays, mixing out, attacking different gaps, inside, outside, keeping. We get a hard count here.
They try to draw Concordia offside. So far have not been able to, and now the clock bleeds down, and now Armsby's going to sneak it, and I think he got it. Judging by this, he got it definitely. He just went tumbling over the line.
Again, like I was mentioning, great piece of coaching there by the offensive staff and Coach Skelton here from the Homestead Spartans. Situation, again, this is the 4-minute offense. They're trying to work the clock, take as much time as they possibly can, force Concordia to take timeouts here eventually in the next minute or so. Done an unbelievable job. Coaches prepare for this situation, have a series of run plays that they want to attack with. Even that situation right there, the quarterback sneak, that was a hard count situation. If they jump offsides, you obviously get free yards. If not, you run the quarterback sneak. Great job of coaching there.
Coming up on 3 minutes to play. They'll hand it off to Hardwick again. He breaks a tackle, loses the ball. And it looked like Concordia might have gotten it. There are Homestead players in the pile, but it's Concordia ball.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I think it was Cooper Harris who came up with the loose football.
This defense is incredible, Thad. I'm just so impressed. Again, they played so many snaps. They've seen all kinds of formation, shifts, plays, concepts, good stuff. They've seen it all night and held this great offense, only 7 points. Have made turnovers, created turnovers. 6 now takeaways, I believe, from what we talked about a minute ago. I think that's number 6 on the evening. Done an unbelievable job. This is they're putting their team in a situation to tie this football game. They've done everything they possibly can to give Concordia a chance in this game, certainly.
Maddox waits to take the snap. He looks to throw. Going to take a shot into traffic, and it is incomplete. Grossman couldn't hold on contact, and I think the hit was made by Graham Collin.
Great throw, great effort there also by Grossman. That's a tough catch in traffic. It's contact right away, but you've seen him all night have to make those type of plays. That one he just couldn't squeeze.
Well, Maddox has certainly not been afraid to throw these balls into tight windows. And he's put a number of them where his receivers can get them. But because of the tight coverage, haven't been able to hold on. That was the case on the play you just saw. Low snap. Maddox to the sideline. Incomplete. Speckard had the position, but it looked like the throw was a little out of his reach.
Again, one of those situations, the rush gets there to force that throw to come out a little bit earlier than they'd like. Again, Homestead's defense done a heck of a job, obviously in the shutout situation, but done a heck of a job creating havoc all night. Again, just really impressed with both defenses tonight. And I tell you what, they're throwing a lot of things at these opposing offenses, a lot of different looks, blitz schemes, coverage variations. Like I mentioned before, very, very impressive.
And a timeout has been taken by Concordia with 2:47 left to go. We'll take a timeout right along with them here on SummitCitySports.com.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
7-0 Homestead leads Concordia, and the Cadets are faced with a 3rd down and 10, trying to capitalize off the Spartans' turnover moments ago. They've had back-to-back incompletions on the last couple of plays. And meanwhile, we've had another lead change in the SAC. Wayne takes the lead over Lures, 36-32. Sherwood Haydock trying to get his first win as the head coach at Wayne. He's had plenty of success so far in his coaching career at both Harding and Woodland. Won a state championship at Harding. That was his last SAC stop. Snap to Maddox, gets some pressure. Sets up the screen, but that goes nowhere. Carter Cronenwet was there on the tackle along with number 48. That's Isaac Parrish. And now, on 4th and 11, with just 2.5 minutes to go, I got to believe Concordia is going for it.
Yeah, I would assume so here. This is kind of the last gasp here. Again, the defense has put them in this situation to have an opportunity, and with 2 minutes left, taking their shot here, certainly.
I think they might have gone final at Carroll, but I can't confirm that. Score shows 42-6 over Snyder. Snap to Maddox. Throws it downfield. Has a man there. Incomplete. Broken up at the last second by Cole Etchison.
Etchison absolutely made that play, Thad. That was a great football. Grossman's hands were in position to take that football, and that was absolutely knocked away by the defender, Etchison. Game-winning type play right there to preserve this win. What an outstanding play. So we have Concordia with 2 timeouts left here and 2 minutes to go. Again, Coach Skelton going right back to his 4-minute offense list of grinding this clock down, forcing Concordia to call timeouts. Already in field goal range.
Evan Armsby will go out of the shotgun. Hardwick right behind him. He will get the call straight up the middle. A little bit of a surge. He got about 2 yards on the play. Gegline and others in on that tackle. And it looks like Concordia will use their second timeout. It comes with 1:51 to go. Now, even if Homestead were to kick a field goal here, that would probably be enough to put the icing on the cake.
I think if you're Homestead here, Thad, you're going to try to find 2 plays that you absolutely love in the run game. I don't think it's anything gimmicky. I think you want to have 2 plays you're attacking different gaps and really kind of put some stress as much as you possibly can here on those linebackers, first and foremost of Concordia. I wouldn't be surprised if having some complement plays here. Have something initially here on second down, then have a complement to that play on third down. Whether it's like the inside zone off the jet sweep, whether it be the outside zone play, then come back with inside zone play on third down. They're going to have 2 plays. They're thinking about 2 plays here to get them a first down in the game. I don't think they want to have to kick here, Thad. This game is so crazy. Who knows what's going to happen on a field goal attempt? Bad snap, something like that. A blocked field goal. It's something crazy you don't want to have happen. I think what they want to do, they want to end the game if they possibly can with a touchdown or with Homestead's offense being on the field.
Well, it looks like New Haven is still leading Mississinawa 14-7 over in East Allen County. Wayne up now 36-32 over Bishop Luers in a game that continues to go back and forth, and looks like Dwenger is still leading Northside, but it looks like they got a lot of time to go in that one. 9:12 to play.
I'm about to go back and watch that game tonight from Summit City Sports website there, Thad, to that Wayne Luers game. That looks like that'd be an exciting one. Along with Northside and Dwenger as well.
Of course, Wayne was at Dwenger last week. They got beat 35-12. Here's the toss to Hardwick, trying to stretch it to the outside. Breaks 1 tackle, gets out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Well, I don't think Coach Zolman wanted anybody running out of bounds.
That's the one thing. I know that was addressed. I know you see Hardwick with the second effort try to get extra yardage. But, again, the one thing you tell him is don't go out of bounds. Again, you can't fault the effort, but you want to try to stay in bounds at all costs there. That saves a timeout now for Concordia. So, again, that was a little outside toss play to hit the edge. I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of, motioning and then their best run play coming right at this Concordia defense.
3rd and 5 for the Spartans. Homestead goes on the road to play Luers next week. Bit of a high snap. Handoff to Hardwick. Straight up the middle. Dives down to the 10. And that will stop. Well, it won't stop the clock unless Concordia takes a timeout, and it looks like they have.
And that was their best run play. The tight inside zone play, getting the ball downhill as quickly as possible with Hardwick. Nice gain there to make this a 4th and 2. This is an interesting call here for Homestead. You got to think about it. It's a long yard, but at the same time, you convert, the game's over, certainly. If you kick, a lot of bad things can happen to that. Obviously, you can end the game with a made field goal, certainly. But the way this game has gone, 6 takeaways by this Concordia defense, I'm not sure I want to kick here. That's just me. I think I'd rather put the ball in the hands of my offense. Again, you've kind of set some run plays up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that outside zone play that they've been successful with Hardwick, coming here. Because it's not a sneak situation. It's a good yard and change here on 4th down. Interesting call here for the Homestead staff and Coach Zolman. But if I'm them, I'm giving my offense a shot here to win the game. Get the first down, game's over.
We'll see what Coach Zolman goes with coming out of the huddle. Of course, Zolman, a very experienced head coach. He's in his 17th year as head coach. Tim Manigal has plenty of experience as a head coach. This is his 11th year as the Cadets head coach, and he does have a state championship under his belt. That was back in 2016.
Both these coaches do such a great job, great staffs. All these coaches on both these programs have been here a long time. Great continuity with the staffs. Done an unbelievable job, and what great two great programs here in Fort Wayne.
Not mistaken, both Tim Messel, the defensive coordinator, and Ben Rogers, the D-line coach, have been with Homestead for quite some time. Of course, Ben Rogers played his high school ball at Northrop. And here is the handoff to Hardwick, straight ahead. He's got it, and that's probably the game.
Great call again. That's their bread and butter. The best run play they've had all evening. Coach Skelton's completely aware of it, knows that's his best play. He goes right to it. And again, it's a sign of great coaching, great program. You're going to stick with what's been successful tonight. You're completely aware of it. Go and win the game. They're going to take a knee here and end this thing. Good defensive football game, Thad. Again, I'm an offensive guy. I'm an offensive coach, but this was pretty fun to watch. Two great defenses battle tonight. And you got to look at a couple different things. One, Concordia's defense is tremendous, and I think it's a great opportunity. Not sure what Brandon Davis's situation is with his injury or why he's unable to perform. But what a opportunity for the young Maddox, the quarterback, the youngster here, to come in and have to play in this situation. He's going to be a great player. You can tell there's some things there that he can really do. He's got a great frame. He throws a good ball. But he got thrown in the fire tonight, certainly. But he's something he can definitely build on for the future. He's going to be exciting down the road here for the Cadets.
Well, Armsby did just take the knee there, and Homestead will go on the road once again next week to face a Bishop Luers team that they absolutely blew out last year. Of course, the personnel is a lot different for both teams. Luers obviously in a dogfight with Wayne. When we last heard, it was 36-32. Doesn't appear as though anything's changed yet. But here in this game, the clock is just about to hit 0. Something has changed at Wayne. Bishop Luers takes the lead, 39-36, and looks like they're in the end of the third quarter. So, folks, if you're looking for a game to watch, when you tune out of this one, that's probably one to watch. It looks like they're still going at Carroll. 42-6 appears to be the score over there. Northrop leads 27-7 over Southside in the fourth quarter. And here at Concordia, we have indeed gone final. The final score, 7-0. Homestead defeats the Cadets of Concordia. 7-0 your final score, and Homestead goes to 1-1. Concordia will fall to 1-1. We'll be right back in just a moment to wrap things up here on SummitCitySports.com.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories and are excited to set the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Basketball is such a reactionary sport, and we talk all the time about your first 3 steps are the most important: powering out, exploding, the things that they're teaching our kids with changing direction quicker, getting a stronger core. Those things have been very valuable for our athletes. Everything that Parkview Sports Medicine has done has been very applicable to what we do on the court. We're learning how to control our bodies, and that's something that I think our girls have really benefited from. Some of our girls who had some speed and quickness now are becoming more explosive.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
7-0 is your final. Homestead defeats Concordia, coming out with a 7-0 victory. The only touchdown goes on the pass play from Evan Armsby to Jared Kistler, and that was all that Homestead needed. The Homestead defense came up with one big stop after another, continued to force Concordia to turn the ball over. Concordia's defense, let's give them credit too. They played their hearts out as well, but in the end, it's Homestead who guts it out for the victory.
Yeah, talk about Concordia first. You know, they didn't win the football game. I think it takes some things away certainly from this game. I think the defensive effort and the personnel, the group playing well together, team defensive speed and effort is there all the time. I'm just really impressed. I mean, they're going to get to 6A school here. Schools are, was it double the size, Homestead on Concordia. They did an unbelievable job really playing great team defense. They really did. And I think they've got some things in the making with a young quarterback. Like I mentioned before, what a learning experience for a young quarterback in a game like this. Went through some growing pains, which are naturally going to happen, but you can see the potential there. So I think Concordia still has a bright future this season. Really do. For the victors today, I'm really impressed with Homestead. I think they did a great job offensively of trying to do some creative things to really give a stout run defense fits. Again, Concordia did a great job, but again, they did just enough. Homestead, some things they need to clean up with the turnovers and things like that, and obviously a great defensive output today. Certainly, getting those guys back that were unable to perform last week was huge for them, and their run defense especially. Thought they were stout all night. Really impressed with what they did in situations. Threw a lot at Concordia and the young quarterback. I tell you what, that young quarterback Maddox saw a lot of different variations on third down, especially blitz schemes, coverage variations. They threw the kitchen sink at that young man, and it was certainly tough. And they did a great job. Really impressed with Homestead. Good, solid football team. It's going to be really interesting the rest of this conference season for both teams. I think they've got great potential in their respective levels. And when you get into the talking about the playoffs down the road, I like this Concordia team in 3A certainly down the road. And what better way to prepare for that is to play in this great Summit Athletic Conference. And the same with Homestead. I think they've this conference schedule, the grind of this prepares them well for the postseason. And here we are, week 2, but you're talking about each and every week you got to buckle up in this conference and play exceptionally well. And good for Homestead to get the bad taste out of their mouth from last week and come out with a victory tonight.
So Homestead wins at 7-0. By the way, our most recent score update had Dwenger leading Northside 27-14. And meanwhile, it's time to give out the Parkview Sports 1 player of the game. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to pick just one player tonight, so let's just go ahead and give it to the entire Homestead defense. What a great game they played.
Certainly. Yeah, it creates so many turnovers. The takeaway game was exceptional. The run defense, the effort level, the speed, getting those guys back. Like we mentioned, the route last week was huge. You see the leadership, you see the experience out there when those guys were on the field. Did an outstanding job of playing great team defense.
So Sparty wins at 7-0 over Concordia. We got more high school football coming your way next week on Friday night from right here in the SAC and maybe a little bit outside the SAC. Until then, for Pat Donnelly, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Zollner Stadium. Again, our final. Homestead beats Concordia 7-0.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories and are excited to set the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Basketball is such a reactionary sport, and we talk all the time about your first 3 steps are the most important: powering out, exploding, the things that they're teaching our kids with changing direction quicker, getting a stronger core. Those things have been very valuable for our athletes. Everything that Parkview Sports Medicine has done has been very applicable to what we do on the court. We're learning how to control our bodies, and that's something that I think our girls have really benefited from. Some of our girls who had some speed and quickness now are becoming more explosive.
To gain an edge on your competition,